No swearing for 30 seconds starting now. It is at 4 seconds.
Pancake.
Pancake, yes. Alright. And 20 seconds. Almost now.
Do you have already...
25.
Do you schedule your stream starts with...
30 seconds. Okay, now you can guess.
Do you schedule your stream starts for your audience?
I try to. They know I upload pretty much every day.
Super.
And now I need to turn down the music volume so it's not very loud, but it's loud enough to be heard.
Mm-hmm. At times I can be sitting and listening to out-of-game music while I'm playing. It's can be nice and relaxing. It's not always. It depends on what role you're working with and the intensity of the situation. But yeah, many times you can listen on some music while you do your job.
Yeah, but I have it playing in the background for YouTube reasons.
Yeah.
We're gonna have full boats all around. We had 28 people so far.
That's good.
You had 50 people react.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. It's not like a pre-sign-up game, but
Hope and pray you get on the game mode, basically.
it's if you show up here. Well, the times when we actually been having more people than the slots in the lobby, Frost have hosted 2 lobbies.
Yes, he tried to host one lobby and it didn't work. He couldn't even get into his own lobby.
Oh yeah, the other day, but like
it happened today as well.
Today too, right? Okay.
And this is now the second lobby he made.
Don't know what it may something is up with his.
It's not his end; it's Steam.
Oh yeah, well,
Steam's...
something is up at least. Otherwise, he usually uses his secondary account when we get like really full participation. We've been running 2 lobbies.
Yeah.
At the same time,
which is not fun for Discord.
No, we're not all sitting in like a channel like they're doing there. We're all splitting up and we're using the English channel down below and stuff like that. So it works out
eventually.
Yeah.
It'll work itself out eventually.
We only use the Discord for the pre-game coordination. So once we get in game, we don't
step on each other. Discord. Does it one person gives one order, one person gives the order for another boat? What? Which boat?
At times when there's been sometimes there is like a captain that want to join, but he joins with like he's maybe either got like one guy with him or something like that. It's kind of like a grower boat, like it will grow and get more people as we keep playing in the scenario, like people will drop in. Then basically many times the small like skeletonized crew boat can sit and share channel with the lead boat, so they can just casually talk between each other with information instead of doing the whole radio stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
a fun
some more familiar faces today.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have Vortex also on our boat.
This is gonna be a fun session, I can tell.
Yeah, it's good numbers.
It's a
Good
fully
numbers for.
staffed boat. All 3 boats are
Yeah,
almost fully staffed.
yeah, that's cool. I hope they'll run simplified radio then.
We can
That's
pray.
so they don't default to using chat. I think it will be more enjoyable for the radio operators with a simplified radio.
Yeah. Because I can imagine trying to do Morse code doesn't end well.
It can. There's skilled people that do Morse code pretty well in this game.
Yeah.
But the common audience arriving to Frost games or participants going for Frost games tend to mostly lean towards a simplified Morse communication style where you need to type on the keyboard the letters and it converts it into Morse code, but you still need to receive and send that live, so you can't have like pre-write the entire message and then click send. You need to literally listen to every letter and receive it on the other end live then. However, realistic Morse works pretty much the same way, but then the people actually need to know what the letters mean in their head. Basically.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, lordy lord. KPJJ, we are full in this boat. I think your best choice is 96.
Last time I played, yesterday, I was assigned to 564.
But there are no place on 564. We are full. Sure.
All right. Okay, let's talk brass tacks. Let's first set up our e-motor so we're ready for immediate dive. You'll do the starboard side. I'll take the port side.
Gotcha.
Unless you have preference there.
No preference.
Super. All right, so let's find some common grounds here. So during the dive order, I propose that I will be responsible for the 3 vents here in the ceiling. As you might notice, I have already pre-closed these 2 vents. That should save me some time. And I suggest that you will, when I start closing these, you start running orders.
Full speed.
Speed. All right, so I propose that you will then run to the rear exhaust vents and that you will close them, both of them, and you will also close or declutch both clutches.
Gotcha.
And then you will at least power on my engine. You don't need to worry about if my engine pops a fuse, it's my fault. So just leave it then and just keep focusing on your end. Just turn on the main power.
Yep, no problem.
Alright, good. What I will do as well, but you don't have to do this, but what I will do is that I will also set the throttle position or the starting handle into start and the supercharger into off, so you don't need to come back and do that. However, Let's say you are here at the diesel controls, and I'm much closer to your task area. Then let's try to dynamically swap between each other. So I'll start doing your job, closing all these, and you start doing mine.
Yep, no problem.
But what you don't need to worry about then is the clutch, sorry, the superchargers and the starting handles. You can skip those parts. Just only focus on making sure all these three are fixed.
Yeah, no problem.
And do note that let's run with these pre-closed already. So just throw an eye towards them and verify that they are in the closed position. So don't just automatically click on them and then turn away.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, cool. For diesel startups, let's do. You can start tuning if you like, if you can still throw an ear towards me. So for diesel startups, you are responsible for your e-motors down power, or to power it down. You are responsible for your clutch and for your exhaust support. Like I will be responsible for my side. Once we are done with those three steps, the first of us done will run and open the center valve here for the engine air intake, and open the starboard air intake for the boat.
Alright.
Does that sound agreeable?
Yeah.
Very good. That way you can start your diesel with what you're comfortable with, and I'll start the diesel with how I'm comfortable with. And this is just as long as the diesel starts up, I'm gonna be happy, and the captain will be happy. All right. Two more things. When orders comes in on the UTs, let's verbally announce them. Even if the orders are expected to be the same for both of us, let's still verbally do it. That in case I'm dozing off or not paying attention, your voice will wake me up and I'll do my job.
Gotcha.
And furthermore, let's strive to have RPM accuracy of 1 RPM away from target.
Gotcha.
However, if the captain wants a specific RPM, like let's say he says I want 101 RPM over the phone, then let's be on the line. Let's be directly on the line of the speed of the RPM. I just muted the Discord so I can hear. getting up to 10 to RPM. I like to always tune my engine. You don't have to do this. This is just my personal preference. But I like to usually tune my cylinder temperatures so they're like evenly around like 501 Celsius, 502. Usually that's the lowest set point you can have the temperature set for, while you have your throttle at 500 and be making for 480 RPM. So the engine can reach this tune set without having to be retuned every time. Want it to be gone down in RPM. I've watched many engineers, they set their tune set, so every time they go down in RPM, or if they want to speed up their heat buildup, they'll set all the oil levels to a much lower point, and while that in theory should get you a faster heat buildup, it does do that momentarily, but then the heat buildup stagnates to the set level for that oil, and as you are only one human with the ability to tune only one cylinder at a time, when you're correcting the oil levels for a higher tune set, your remaining 5 cylinders aren't building heat as much. And then even though you finish one cylinder, then you still have 4 cylinders that's not building heat while you're tuning cylinder 5, and so on and so on. So you have like this uneven heat buildup. And what I have noticed is that you lose time building up heat if you wanted to go from a lower speed to a full speed. But it's more or less just min-maxing, so it's not a big deal if people want to set their tuning to a lower set and then retune it for higher. It's not much more time you save. If you've been speaking, I haven't been able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm hearing things or not. I'm hearing like a telephone ringing, but I can't tell if it's ours or not.
There's a telephone ringing.
Yes, it sounds like the ringer going off. But I thought it came from the E-room, but there's nothing in there.
So there's a phone over here, so perhaps this is the one that you heard.
Yeah, but I'm still hearing it, like a very faint ringing.
I don't know what that is.
I think I'm hearing things.
You're becoming Johan. Ghost. You seen the movie? That's both.
Yeah.
I'm gonna up my volume a little bit and see if I can hear it. No. How about this? Let's try this. Stay over here at this phone.
Yep. It stopped now.
Has it stopped now too?
Yep.
So maybe they did try to call and the sound got locked up for you.
Probably.
Well, I'm glad you fixed it.
So am I. I don't need to hear ringing in my ears all day.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be annoying. I like to, every time I work in the engine room, I like to soften my effects volume a little bit to go easy on my ears.
Yeah, I can't blame you on that.
All right. Your PM skills. There is a way to stand on top of the seat. Oh, there we go. I don't know how it looks for you on your end, but my
Very
head is all the way
interesting.
up. My head is all the way up, but in the ceiling.
Yeah, you're inside of a pipe.
Yeah, that's probably what I am. But does it look like I'm standing on the little seat or whatever?
Yep.
Desk. All right. It's a little bit tricky to get up here. Yeah, kind of. I'm not entirely sure if you need a little bit of lag on your end to actually help you up there, but. I remember in the earlier development of this version, you could actually get and stand on top of the toilet here, but you might still be able to do it if you kind of glitch your way up there, but otherwise it's not as easy to get up on it. So did you were you able to learn anything new yesterday? Something that you and me never covered?
Not really, other than how to not short circuit everything every 5 seconds.
Well, it's good to learn. there any particular new ways to avoid short circuiting that you managed to figure out then, or was it more beating in the stuff that you already learned and avoiding it?
Basically, just don't set that in a position when charging the battery until after you're ready for it to be in a position.
Yeah. Do you get to charge at what speed did you get to charge at? Was it like half or?
Yeah, I think it was half.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do today is also a little bit. We're gonna probably do some charging while we speed match. Did you do anything of that speed match charging?
Yeah, we did. It was fairly entertaining.
So, because the emphasis during speed match is the speed match, we don't need to worry about.
Go ahead.
You guys, what's that called? Comfortable for a quick stop?
Yeah, we should be.
Alright, then prepare your e-motor for that. The next order will be a quick stop.
Understood.
Okay. Out.
Out. Prepare for a quick
Alright.
stop.
All right. Do you remember how to do that?
Somewhat.
Oh, we'll see how it goes.
You may have to remind me.
All right. So, first step is that we declutch the diesels. Then we start our e-motor going forward as if we would be diving. Then once we are going forward on electric engines, we stage it down to dead slow ahead. And when we're at dead slow ahead, 60 RPM, we switch direction to stern. And then that's pretty much it. So, declutch, power on, like we're diving, but stage it down to dead slow. Ahead, wait for 60 RPM, switch direction reverse, and then we wait for the order to stop.
So they said prepare it for dead stop, so should we start putting them in prepare for dead slow?
We could maybe put it at dead slow, but we're going to be shooting in quite a lot of RPM into the system as well. I mean, maybe. I haven't really tried it, but you could rig it for dead slow ahead if you wanted. Yeah, it might pop a fuse. I haven't tested it like that.
Let's not chance it then.
But that's maybe a valid point. Maybe it's possible to set it for dead slow ahead. But I think there's going to be quite a lot of power going into the system.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about now.
RPM. The half speed ahead setting that we have right now, it's going to be far more manageable.
Yeah.
And by the time we declutch and we turn on the e-motor, we're going to be able to quickly stage it down for that slow ahead anyway. It's not going to take too long.
Yeah, gotcha. I'm going to open up the voice tubes. Sometimes helmsmen like to use the voice tubes for calling stops. Yeah, me and Fit did that yesterday.
And the fastest way to stop the shaft, do you remember what the trick was?
The brake.
Yeah, the little latch in the floor. So that's what we'll do when we get the order to stop, is throw yourself onto that one, and after that one is latched on, then we can power down our motors.
Yeah, gotcha. I think it's the music that makes that rigging sound in the background from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm still hearing it, and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Wait, so did it not end when I called over?
No, it's not the phone, it's YouTube itself.
Okay.
So just give me one moment. There.
So too distracted here. Alright.
Yep.
That fixed it for you.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Or it may be my tinnitus.
Tinnitus could maybe be a ringing sound, yeah. Do you remember what the order on the UT is going to be for communicating a quick stop?
Double attention.
That's an interesting way of doing it. I would just go straight to what it actually entails, and that is that we run the electric engine, so I would use the electric engine order.
Gotcha.
Double attention, that seems like it could be confusing.
Yeah, that's what we did yesterday, so...
Did they not do electric engine orders at all?
They did electric engines and then double attention.
Well, I would have probably done electric engines and then slow start. That's what we need to know. We need to know that we're gonna go electric engines, then slow start.
Yeah, that sounds probably about right.
And we don't necessarily need to know that they want to stop. They can communicate that actually later, that they want a stop. That can come via EOT or via voice. It could be that they, for example, are realizing that we're about to collide with what's up, and they might just want to do reversal. So, I would have just kept it simple with electric engines, and then slow start, or electric engines, slow speed of start, and so on.
Yeah.
There are different flavors in how to do it, and many times, if the routine works with the group that's playing, then why change it?
Yeah, true.
Don't fix what's broken. Oh, sorry, wait, don't.
I was about
No,
to say,
that's
hold
not
on
the
a second.
saying. No, it's the saying. It's you don't need to fix that isn't, if it isn't broken, that's not broken. Don't fix that's not broken, or something like that. Orders, electric engines.
That's like...
Both
Alright.
engine.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the starboard to confirm it electric.
Get yours to go in reverse. Switch it to series parallel. And then when you get 60 RPM, go reverse.
Yeah, force is in the engine.
And be ready to apply the screw lock. We're
Stand
listening
by.
on the
Stand by.
standing by.
Standing by.
Stop.
Stop.
All right,
Perfect. Thank you.
e-motor out. Let's restore e-motors, power it down and restore it. Keep the latch on until we'll wait until we have. Right, a little bit slow on switching to dead slow ahead, but maybe it was you got a little bit what do you call it, choked up a little bit, forgot what to do.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yep, that's cool. So basically, otherwise it was good. We declutch, we power on. When we get on the controls here, we want to slow down the RPM so we get within the range for reversal, and then we begin reversing, and then we need stand by for the stop order.
Yep.
Alright. Mine hit 0 RPM, so I'm gonna release my latch here, and then I'm gonna just...
Yep, mine is also.
To the clutch. Alright, good. And we'll wait until we get movement order, and then we just clutch in.
Gotcha.
Fun fact, quick stops actually charge the batteries marginally.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a shock of energy that comes into the battery when you... Because we use the resistance to force the RPM down, we convert all that kinetic energy into electrical energy for a short moment.
Yeah,
So,
and that helps us out massively.
well, it helps us out to reduce the RPM, but also as a byproduct, we get electricity into the battery. Just a short jaunt. Maybe enough to cover like light electrical expenses.
Yeah, pretty much.
It doesn't consume too much electricity. The lights, they do consume electricity, but it's not a lot.
Yeah, something like that.
Have you had a chance to understand what this system does yet?
No, no one taught me that part yet.
It's not something that you do need to touch too often, but it is connected to the Echo Ranger, to the gyro compass, to the hydrophone, and to the TDC. And I think at the moment the system doesn't simulate that it draws any current, but it does require voltage to be available on the batteries, unlike the lights, which actually draws current, and of course requires voltage. So this one regulates how much voltage potential. Dead slow ahead.
Dead slow ahead. What do you set for your throttle?
Like a little bit below 200. You're gonna have to adjust it because your engine's been is like changing its temperature over time, so a little bit under 200 or a 2.
I have it about
Sure.
2 notches under 200.
Just that you're gonna have to chase the RPM needle to make 180 RPM because of the temperature changing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right. Anyway, the most important system out of the 4 I mentioned is, well, they're important, I guess, in their own regards, but the system that will suffer the most out of small adjustments is the hydrophone, because it changes the sensitivity of how the hydrophone hears sounds. So the hydrophone operators, if they want to range something, they need the power for the auxiliary system to be set to a predictable level. So if it's not where they predict it to be, their range calculations can be off.
On diesel engine order, set both engine on an RPM of 154, please.
RPM 154.
On diesel engine order.
On diesel engine order. Understood.
Order
Good.
out.
Order out. 154. Diesel engine order.
And we got diesel engine order. Alright. I'm going to be charging doing this. Would you like me, or are you going to set up your motor, or would you like a quick rundown how to do it?
Yeah, just quick run me.
Alright, so you need to provide more RPM, on the shaft via the diesel than what we're gonna need. say maybe 60, 50 more than what's required. Alright, good. Come over here. Shut off motor direction. Turn on motor power. Now, move the regulator so that your motor voltage and battery voltage hits the same value. This should come back to you now, right? And now power motor direction forward. Good. We have no power spike. Now regulate the voltage towards high until you're matching 154 RPM. And you can hold shift if you think it's moving too rapidly in your hand. And again, like we are charging right now, you see the battery current, we're on the charge side of the battery current gauge, but the emphasis is speed match, so battery charge is a bonus.
Yep.
We don't need to stress it about, making it charge a lot, especially not now, as we haven't really been using the electric engines, anything really more than reverse a little bit. So we're pretty much sitting at full battery, which is at around 9,300.
Alright.
Alright, I like to have a little bit more dive readiness in case there's a dive order that's coming. So I want you to be supervising my motor current and my RPM, that it's being matched, and your engine as well. So just throw your eyes in between them. I'm going to move to the diesel controls, so I'm much closer to the forward vents. So if there's a dive, what I recommend you do is power off the e-motors first, and then you do all your steps, and then only focus on power on your e-motor in a safe way. Alright, we got torpedo launches at the moment. I'm gonna head over and open up the forward vent so we can start compressor.
Gotcha.
Go start a compressor as well while you're back there.
Yep, no problem.
Disconnect the e-motor, power down the e-motors, full speed. Good. Alright, let's set the restore e-motor to dive safe situation, or dive fast dive situation. Which is this. Oh, why are we declutching?
I thought that we were diving. That was my bad.
No, full speed.
Gotcha.
Alright, I have closed the forward vent. Check your temperature, make sure that they all hit 260 area. Yeah, that looks good. looking good with the E-motors?
Yep.
Right, so if we're doing this again, which likely we're gonna do, then I will be doing like we did, like we set up our E-motors individually, but once we both have done that, I will return to diesel control area here, where I have quicker access to my stuff, and you stay back there. Then upon the order of breaking speed match, you shut down the E-motors like you did, and then we start going with diesels. Should the order be a dive, you turn off the E-motors as well, and do the whole exhausts and declutching.
Yep, gotcha.
And then you turn on your E-motor. Then you verify. You got to be conscious of checking that your E-motor is turned on in a proper, safe way. So do that then from without just turning it on, power on blindly. Like make sure everything's safe, and then turn it on.
Yep.
That way we're going to have much better dive readiness, because I will be around this area and not standing around there, and you'll be able to supervise my E-motor. And what we also could do from that point on is I could start increasing diesel throttles, with communicating with you first that we're going to do that, and that we can get more energy out of it, so you will keep on regulating the power to make sure that we maintain the RPM, while I increase the throttle so we can get more power out of it, if we need more power out of it.
Gotcha.
Because I have, I'll use the E-motor current gauge in the ceiling to make sure that I don't shoot over, and I give you enough wiggle room for you to maneuver back there.
Yeah, gotcha. And of course, with Pross missions, we're not ending until all the ships are sunk or we've run out of ammo.
Run out of ammo, all the ships are sunk, or we reach a reasonable time.
Gotcha. And what's the time frame usually?
It's like 3 hours, but it could sometimes shoot a little bit over. But like maybe 3, sometimes less than 3. I would say around 3.
Gotcha.
But there's been times when we had small convoys spawning in, and we decided to not restart and generate a new large convoy, and we basically just wipe the convoy out, and then we start a second game and we do that one after. Orders, half speed.
Half speed.
I have a little bit of a sound problem at the moment, so I'm gonna be leaving and then rejoining the game. It's gonna take me like a minute or so.
Gotcha.
I'm not hearing the EOT sounds, and they're very good to be hearing.
Yes, I agree.
Hello, this is Chief. I need to rejoin, so I'll be back in 1 minute. It's fixing the sound. You want me to sink the boat? Oh, okay. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, you got the engine. There probably ain't gonna happen anything. We're kind of like in a holding pattern right now, so I'll be back in a minute.
Yep, gotcha.
back.
Alright.
So the game has a little bit of some bugs, some sound bugs, and they're basically seem to be connected with desync. So when the server is sending packages to the clients, the server isn't getting a response from the clients that they received it. There could be some sound cues that isn't playing. But it also works in the other way for clients. So if the client's sending data to the server and they're not getting information back, they don't start some sound cues because they're waiting for other packages to be cleared through. It's at least from my understanding how what works, or what makes it not work, rather. That's slow.
Dead slow.
So what the captain likely is doing now is he wants to maintain his previous shooting position. Don't want to move too much while the convoy is doing its zigzaggy thing. So it's probably going down to around dead slow, which should be around 7 knots, and just kind of holding and waiting. He may have achieved probably a distance that he wants to be at, and now he's just waiting for the convoy to finish their shenanigans.
Yeah, until they tell us to dive, then we're screwed.
Well, there's been times when we've been on boats and we haven't paid too much attention, and the convoy is starting to zigzag and they start to close in on you, and then we realize, shit, they're too close. We gotta dive, so we had to dive. Sometimes even they detect you and we dive as a result of that. But hopefully we won't need to do that now.
We can hope.
Well, it doesn't matter too much for me. We'll get to do something different. See, sometimes playing in lobbies with inexperienced captains can be quite a enjoying experience, because they are so inexperienced that their behavior is very irregular, and therefore they can end up in much trouble. And being in the engine room or any of the other roles might sometimes mean that you get to act quick on your feet because something just happened and you have to like respond to that, basically. With highly skilled captains, they get into routines and so what. So sometimes it could be. I mean, it is enjoyable in a different way to play like that, but sometimes they might get stuck in patterns.
The fun part will be probably when they add that. The fuel, yeah.
Management. That could be interesting, yeah.
Or even the oil management.
Did you know that they use the ballast tanks to store fuel in them?
That I did not.
So diesel has a complete different density than water. So you could store diesel, I believe, on top of the water. So you could have water in the actual ballast tanks, and a layer on top of that be filled with diesel. So they had like when they were going out on patrols, they could have the ballast tanks filled with well, I don't know if it was 50% or anything like that, but they could have diesel in there. So that was basically then sucked into their internal diesel tanks via basically they could tap it in from the ballast tank without really worrying too much about the water. Full speed ahead.
Oh, it's full speed.
But of course, you could get a little bit of water into the mixture, and then, from what I've been told, you meet a bunch of people saying all kinds of things on the internet. But what I was told, that this glass here, that's supposed to separate you from the actual diesel, was utilized to tell if there was water through, because apparently you could see. Like if it started to become more water than it's coming through, so they could cut off the system from feeding it into the engine.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know myself. I'm not a historian or an engineer, so but there's plenty of those people playing this community. They'll inform you of kinds of various things. But the diesel stored in the ballast tanks was kind of crazy revelation when I heard it first.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, isn't that usually filled with water?
Well, they wouldn't, if they're heading out to patrol, they most likely weren't like diving immediately. They were probably going a quite significant distance on surface, so they were using up their diesel fuel in their normal diesel tanks, and then as they kind of went out more to sea, they start transferring, I guess, the diesel into their diesel tanks and allowing them to basically use ballast tanks more for water. And even if, I guess, if it was a little bit of diesel in the tanks, they probably don't give a shit because it's war, so it's not like, oh, environmental disaster. Just, no. Probably just let that diesel out if they needed to die. I think with the new map idea that the developers have and the kind of like campaign mode and stuff like that, they might start simulating diesel. So that could be interesting. It probably wouldn't affect you during a mission though. It probably would be more something that you're affected in between an attacks, because honestly, if you're so low fuel that you run out of fuel mid-mission, mid-patrol, then you done screwed up. Because you have no fuel to get back to port with then. So you shouldn't be going and doing attacks if you're that low on fuel. You should be probably chugging along at a low speed to a port if you're that low. Because I mean, we play this game and it takes like a 3-hour or 2-hour session. I mean, to be running out of fuel in 3 hours, and we're like supposed to be out in Atlantic or Bay of Biscay or Norwegian Sea and stuff like that. I mean, you're really fucked if you're hunting convoys with that little fuel.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the gameplay with diesel fuel probably will be... It won't be like the battery, like we're actually visually seeing the battery gauge go down and we'll be like, Captain, we're running out of battery. That's probably not how the gameplay will be. It will probably be more of a thing that the captain have to think about between attacks if he's doing like a continuous campaign. And how the diesels of course run will of course affect the general diesel consumption, and over multiple perhaps sessions then you'll start to notice the difference that bad management of the diesel fuel probably result in a shorter patrol time. I'm more interested in seeing this thing. I don't know if you noticed it. Follow me. This thing.
Oh god.
And this gauge to the right.
MB?
Millibars, maybe. Who knows? Could be.
Who knows?
So, if it is what we believe it is, many of us orders and speed.
Full speed. Oh, wait, no. Oh, sorry. Half speed.
So, many players theorize that it has to do with internal boat pressure. And there's a little text. If you read on the depth gauges, there's something like a little text mentioning, like, millibars.
Yes, I saw that too.
You saw that, yeah? So there is like air pressure, MV, then you have like kind of similar values. And so it could be that if poor management of the air supply on board of the boat could result in poor gauge readings for the depth.
Yeah, probably.
So that could be interesting. And what I've also been told is the way the airflow system to the diesels work in Wolfpack is not realistic. It might be a placeholder, because the way I've been told it works is that they didn't have a dedicated intake valve like we have here. They drew their air from the internal air of the boat. So you could close the air intakes to the boat, and the diesels were still running. The problem was the exhausts would not have a way to escape underwater, but you could, from what I understand, still run the diesels. You would have to just expel the exhaust into the actual boat itself. Not that you would do that, but this specific system they have rigged right now isn't really historically accurate. Again, I want to point out, I'm not a historian nor an engineer or anything like that. I'm just going off what other players have told me.
Alright.
So what the effect could be, like, if you weren't doing it right, then, like, if you're, for example, closing the air vents before you shut off the diesels properly, you could be consuming up some degree of air that you would need in as an orders that slope. So we need like an internal pressure on board of our boat in order for gauges and our own comfort to work out. Like if we have a low pressure all around in the boat, our eardrums would probably be affected by that. So the diesel compressor would also work in the same way that it could use like the air in the U-boat's internal atmosphere to then be doing the compressing. But of course it needed to, the diesel compressor still needed to expel exhausts. So there is this electric compressor on the opposite side that we can start, but you could run that one to gain compressed air from the U-boat's internal atmosphere when it was submerged, but you would then affect the pressure. So those complexities could be things that developers have in mind to implement based upon what we can see back there in the E-motor room on that shelf, with carbon dioxide affecting the air quality and the internal pressure and so on.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
They've been giving hints about some other complexities as well. in some of their later posts that I believe had indicated that they might be redoing or adding more complexity to the dive and buoyancy system of the boat. If that means that they are changing, for example, the trim system and ballast tanks and stuff like that, that could be an interesting thing, because the trim tanks is also overly simplified in Wolfpack than how it worked in real life.
Yeah, it would be really interesting if we ended up having to do maintenance on the engines, too.
Yeah, they have been speaking about damage control teams, but maintenance could also maybe be a thing to perhaps prevent damages from happening. Maybe. Games certainly have potential if you have the patience to wait.
Yeah.
Running a little bit low on your RPM, but I don't think it matters too much right now. With the CO2, you might have to factor in things such as using CO2 scrubber sheets, like potassium sheets and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the ventilation system, if we get that, that would be awesome, too.
Mm-hmm. Do you have you played the U-boat?
Yes.
Yeah, so in there you can research the potassium sheets and later and install them in your ventilation system later down the line to help scrub away a degree of the carbon dioxide that accumulates. There was another game that was developed like Kenyans.
Engine.
Yep, we're listening.
Three knots. 2 knots.
We're ready on the decoupler.
1 knot. Get ready. Stop.
Alright, good.
0.1. I set it earlier. Captain out.
Emo route. Good. How did that feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Alright. Will you be able to take care of both of these engines and also our clutches? And I'll go and be dive ready in at these controls.
Yep.
Super.
what the engine room does with their board.
Got a damn fox outside my window screaming. I've been hearing it. I was just, I don't know where it is now, but I was hearing it screaming outside my window. I might stick out my head and take a look.
Fantastic. Oh, what the engine room does when they're bored.
So my boots are pointing more wide, and your boots are pointing more towards mine.
Yeah, I see that.
Can you try to change it around? Can you get your boots to point side to side?
I don't think I can. I don't think I can, actually.
Yeah. Can I point them forward?
Only when you walk.
See, I think this is
Order.
this is an order. Thank you. I think it's an animation loop thing. So basically, if you stand still and rotate on your spot, the feet will basically tap around in kind of like wide feet pattern and then together feet pattern. And I think that when you're basically facing the rear of the boat, your feet will always point sideways. But if you're facing to the front of the boat, your feet will point forward. See, if you stand like this, pointing forward.
Yeah, I see that.
You can see if you stand still and just rotate, it's just predetermined positions where your feet are supposed to be when you rotate around.
Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
On diesel engine order, made 152.
152, aye.
You can do it now. And order diesel engine order.
Gotcha. Out. 152.
152. On diesel order. On diesel order we go. You need my help back there? Or do you want to do it your own?
I'll do it. I just need to set up the engines. The match.
Remember, do a little bit more than what you need so you have something to take from. So maybe 60, 50 more extra RPM on the diesel. And once you're done with your engine, could you supervise mine?
Yep.
Good. I'll stay at the diesels. What? Great. Good, good, good. Looking good, looking good.
Can we let them know that we're doing that?
Doing what?
The full speed.
Nah, we answered full speed. they have RPM gauges.
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, they do have RPM gauges, both in the conning tower and the control room.
Hopefully they see that.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a rev up phase, and just are reheating after they've been running a little bit colder than normal. So.
And I did just train the helmsman on the engines earlier today.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
It was entertaining because he has never seen it like this.
Okay, what did he think?
He was impressed.
How did it do then?
He did decent. I mean, we had a moment where we actually had to dive because I was right next to the convoy that I didn't even realize.
Yeah. Did you intentionally flood the boats? So
I was
could see
about
the nice
to.
waterfall feature.
I was getting ready to, but then I was like, I have another person there that's supposedly a good dive officer.
Uh-huh.
So he was watching it the whole time.
Yeah, so usually when I, when the other day when we were playing, we did it together with Vortex, right?
Yes.
It was you and Vortex, yeah. And Vortex was talking about, oh, I can do dive officer. I didn't want it to do dive officer because then I couldn't be flooding the boat like I did when I was playing with you guys.
Yeah.
So what I do is I blow out the negative tank, and when you don't have a negative tank, the boat is diving very, very slow. So at a certain point when I gave you guys, go for full speed, I snuck away, blew out the negative tank, and then I went back here and then kept on talking, and then I waited until both of you were at least going forward with your diesels again after we'd done the reversal stuff, and then I snuck back there, and then I started to flood the ballasts. It's gonna take a really long time, like 2 minutes or so. So then I was just standing here and waiting, and I give you guys arbitrary orders, just waiting for them to basically flood. So it's a fun little trick, because I'm basically back here, and all of a sudden water comes in. It's like, how am I doing that? I wasn't showing any orders to dive or anything like that.
It's not clearing again.
Surprise. It's not what?
Oh, never mind. I got it clear that time.
Yeah. On top of the P in the word complete.
That's fairly interesting click spot.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of funny bugs. Or sad bugs.
Bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
Let's think about it.
They're bad bugs.
Yes.
Very bad. Yeah. It's always fun to do that thing. And I'll check usually and see how long time people take to respawn. Not that I have like a time I'm comparing with, but usually don't let it go to the point where we die. But it's always interesting to see how a person reacts under a stressful, panicky situation, even though they might not have completely grasped the entire engine room. Always good to see if they grasp enough to go and close the valves. They understand that part. Ultimately, a little bit of water in the bilge, not a problem. Skilled dive officers can compensate for that. So, what roles have you had the chance to now play as? Have you done any of the helm or dive roles too?
Only helm.
Good. That's a good role to have done before you come into the engine room, because you appreciate the difficulties of communication with the EOT, and you can kind of learn. You can kind of better understand how an order will look when you're giving it from the helm station to how it looks when it's received back here, and so on. So then you have dive officer to explore, and then maybe in these lobbies you might even want to try the simplified radio operator too.
Yeah, I'll probably try that eventually. Dive officer, I'm not sure on. Navigation, yeah, I'm not gonna chance that. Radio, well, I'll do the radio, but I won't do navigation.
Well, dive officer is kind of like helmsman, and the engineer had a baby. So it's kind of like a role that has a little bit of what we do here, like a little bit technical know-how, and it's also kind of decently relaxed role.
Especially if you're not diving ever.
Right. Oh, got a phone call.
Go ahead.
Hello. Next attack.
Tell them
gonna
we're
be
not here.
inside the deck. Most likely in 13 minutes we're gonna be in position. Just a heads up.
Can you say that again?
Next attack gonna be inside the deck. Probably in position is 25 minutes.
25
And for a heads up, we fired 4 torpedoes. We hit all the 4 torpedoes. Only one didn't sink.
Alright,
Thank you. Out.
out. Prepare for 25 minutes. We're probably going to be going to periscope depth and shooting out 4 torpedoes on 1 zig.
Okay. So in 25 minutes we are going to be commencing the submerged attack, or in 25 minutes we're diving?
One of those two.
Well, alright. So we got a little bit of time to kill. But yeah, dive officer has you gotta have a little bit of technical know-how how to work the valves, controls, trim, tank, and all that stuff. And it's also kind of very hands-on. When you actually do dive stuff, you get to do stuff. And many times you'll also be asked to work the observation periscope to supplement the captain with range information on warships and stuff. So that will keep you decently busy.
Yeah, that involves math, which I'm not good at.
Yeah, but you know I have a calculator for that. I'm not good at math.
Should I talk to Jinx about training me on the not so simplified radio?
Yeah. He would be a good source for learning like the rigid ones. Or at least he would know where to point you further.
Yeah.
In fact, if you wanted to kind of like start in advance, there is a free game on Steam called Submorse that allows you to start training Morse code and so on. There is also like learning Morse with Google or something like that. I don't know exactly. It's like a website. If you write "learning Morse" with Google in Google, it'll probably be one of the top results. But it is also kind of like a little bit of a mini game that teaches you Morse code. Kind of get you started with the with remember or figuring, basically learning, memorizing the letters and the numbers.
What was the game on Steam again?
The game on Steam is called Sub Morse. It's a very small game. And it's free. And then there's the Morse Trainer with Google, which is probably something named like Learning Morse with Google or something like that.
Alright, I got that.
Yeah, those will probably be practice teaching you more sending. But usually hearing is the bigger challenge for people. There is some hearing involved, though, of course. But I think that there are other better learning tools for learning how to receive.
Gotcha. So hope and pray that I should try on one of the other games for our group, the Wolf group.
Sea Wolf?
Yes, thank you. Sea Wolf group. And see if I could get the simplified radio operator role. That way I could do it there.
Whereas Sea Wolf doesn't do simplified radio. They do realistic radio. Realistic Morse.
Gotcha, so don't immediately go to there.
Yeah, so the group that might be using simplified radio on occasion would be this group here that we're playing with.
Yeah, I figured. Alright.
But yeah, otherwise, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how other groups are playing. There was another group before that was occasionally doing more since simplified radio mix. I don't know if they play anymore. I tried to learn Morse myself, but I get caught up on letter A and I. It's quite embarrassing because that's just the two signals. A is I believe da, and I is it. And when I hear those, I was doing this with a tutor, and he was basically trying to teach me them, and he noticed that I just got caught up and mixed those up all the time. So I'm not even past double single letters yet. I can't apparently hear the difference. If it goes slow enough, I can, but that's not the ambition, for it to go slow.
Yeah, it's very rare that I've ever seen somebody actually manage to go slow on Morse.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it if I am allowed to do it slow, and that they're sending at a slower pace. But yeah, I would probably hold up the entire operation, receiving at my speed. Also, my brain seems to be interpreting the Morse in a way that isn't. The ones that seems to be skilled at it, they say that the Morse language actually becomes like a language. But for me, the Morse code is more like binary. It's like numbers. It's like I'm counting how many short ones I have before the long ones. I see it as a pattern of short and longs, and that taps into the weak side of my brain, because I struggle with memorizing numbers. So in that game, if I'm counting like, oh, that's 3 short ones and then a long one, and then I'll lose myself in that. How are we delivering on the shafts? Let's go. Looking good. Oh yeah, I think I was starting to talk. There was another game that was in development. I think they ceased development. It was called Crush Depth. Some of the later dev logs that they released, they were talking about that they had a little bit of a different mentality when it came to developing. They seemed to focus a lot more on trying to finish one feature first, like really, really in depth, and then move on to the next feature and finish that one in depth. So they seem to go really in depth in completing step-by-step segments. So they took some time. They did manage to publish like a more of a tech demo of the game. But yes, what was fun in some of the releases from the developers was that they were telling that they were working on programming a simulation for gases on board of the boat, but they started to talk about that they were simulating flatulence. And I think that was I mean, I think that was probably one of the nails in their coffin why they stopped. I don't think many gamers would be taking them serious after they're saying outright in a serious voice that they're simulating gases, and one of those gases would be flatulence in a submarine game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think their video, when the developers is talking about it, is still out if you go for like development updates and Crush Depth. But it's kind of funny when they talk about it. I mean, cool, amazing that they wanted and had that ambition to simulate that much. But I think they were starting at the wrong end. I think they should gradually build up a more and more working product and not go in depth in focusing on one element to the high detail as they were. I think that probably killed their momentum.
Yeah, that seems about right.
But their ambition was like this valve here, this valve here, this valve here, the switch here. They wanted everything to be touchable in terms of like you would be able to operate them and they would have a function. They were going for hyper realistic simulation. They had a functional engine simulation before Wolfpack had one.
No, that's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, then their entire project seemed to have just died off, so. Even though it takes a long time for things to come out with the Wolfpack dev team, there's still a game here to play. With theirs, there wasn't much to play.
Yeah, I think that's what would have done him in, is not having a game to play for people to see. Not a good idea.
Well, they had their tech demo, or what they would probably call a game, and I didn't buy it, so I don't know to 100% extent what it entailed. But I believe what they had was they had a pretty cool main menu. I gotta admit that looked pretty dope. It was like in an office, like a German naval office room with all wood paneling, and it looked pretty cool. And then they basically had like a museum. We were walking into like a warehouse where a Type 7 U-boat was sitting propped up. You could walk into that one, and in that one, I believe that in that actual museum piece simulation, the engines were there, so you could mess around with it. And I believe that they had another game mode where you were shooting your AA gun as well. And I think they had one more simulation where the boat could be in the water, but I think was severely lacking in things. So it was, I would call it very much more of a tech demo than an actual game or early access or anything.
Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, the last thing I saw of it was like a year ago. I'm looking on YouTube right now.
You might find one of their flash lens devlogs.
Yeah, probably.
You could probably search it on YouTube. You could probably search flash lens and crash depth, and there'll probably be something maybe that pops up. So how's your stream?
Today, it's not doing as good as it was.
Oh, how many?
So far, we've had a total of 8.
I guess it's my dull personality.
I don't think it is. Trust me.
I think the better roles just to stream from would be some control room. I think dive officer could be a good position because you could be looking outside and stuff like that. Captain perspective or navigator perspective could be good too. They have a lot of visual things to see. Here we look at rocker arms pulsing up and down, cycling the fuel, the air.
Well, still, it's very cool to see the emotions from the engine itself.
There's nothing out there like this, right? I don't know any game where a player in a multiplayer cooperative game have to take responsibility of the operation of the engine itself.
Yeah, because even then, you can't just immediately... I'll just check it if I have to fight with one of them real quick. I'll fight with number 2. Like, I don't know any other games right now that will be able to do this.
Yeah, I know. The experience is completely unique. There is absolutely nothing that offers it. That's why so many of us are also enduring this buggy beta version that they have out, because we can do this. I mean, not every player is gathering around to do it, but it is still something very unique. Orders. That's slow. I think the only games that could get close to maybe this would be maybe like games similar to like Stormworks, stuff like that, but you have to build your engine that you then have players operating. I don't know the type of potential that would be for fun gameplay, but at least I don't know any games where you have the players literally full speed. But the players are literally having to move the throttle lever to make the thing go forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of surprised by as well.
Do you know if the game Stormworks?
Yeah, I just can't get past any of that stuff. Just
Yeah,
in the
it's-
beginning, it was just... It's weird.
It's a very complex game. You gotta get your head wrapped down in all the physics and all the logic and stuff like that. Well, of course, you can just download someone's workshop version and play that. That's an option too. But if you wanted to
Yeah.
get the full potential of the game, you would have to make stuff. Attention! You might be diving here.
I'm gonna start making my way back to the back.
I will shout. Oh, you didn't start fine.
My bad.
Half speed. Alright, your diesel have been turned off supercharger, and then I set your handle to start. I'm now going to do check valve check here. No water have entered engine, so good.
So... Oh, no one... Now I have 0 people.
Oh. Oh.
I just looked over, I was like, okay, Chad, I'm gonna tell you something, and then I was about to show him that you could see the actual crank actually moving in the floor right below us for the actual propellers. But, oh wait, now it's fixed. Now I have people.
But do your streams do they save so people could like
Yeah, they're saved all the time.
so like people can really just watch them like a normal YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
After. So do you usually get? Have you been getting any extra viewers after the stream had been released?
Oh yeah, I get a good chunk out of that.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're already a hard left rudder.
Should we mess with the rudder? No, we shouldn't.
let's not. He's a new guy. You're gonna torture him.
Yeah.
Shall we open the voice tubes?
Nah. I mean, if you want to listen in, but if we start talking, then we get close to voice tubes so we don't bother them. You could also, there's a voice orders, slow speed. Step over this way. There's a voice tube here you could open. Doesn't have a whistle though. If you wanted to hear.
Even then, there's no one saying anything. Do you hear anybody saying anything?
Nah, they probably have them closed on their end. What we many times do is that we have the captain streaming, so people, if they're working back here, they can hop on the stream in Discord and watch through there. But really, we don't have, in my opinion, back here much reason to be like listening in on the conning tower control.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have to deal with then closing these flaps when we're talking, so we don't contaminate their communication and interfere with theirs.
Yeah, gotcha.
The true window we really need is the EOT. It shows us everything we need.
Yeah. Unless they do the whistle thing, then yeah.
Oh yeah. If they want the channel open, we open the channel. But here we can see the depth if we wanted to know that situation. So we're clearly underwater with periscope depth. So slow speed would be a speed that you would use to probably approach stealthily with. It's still detectable, but still you can get close at slow speed.
Yeah. If I see it hit 25, that's when we should be worrying.
Well, we can't do much about it anyway.
Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, chat, these sessions could go for 3 hours or more.
I'm gonna do a little fun thing. Don't do this that I'm gonna do. But this captain and me have a little ongoing joke. Captain, it is 9 kiloamp hour. We must surface now and charge right now. Yes. Oh, yes. I will do. All right.
Oh no.
Yep. Yes, then we charge the battery. It's great. All right, thank you.
What
You're
did they want
actually
me to
running. You're running dead slow. You're supposed to be slow speed.
I read it wrong. That was my fault.
A while back, me and Bob, we were on his boat. He was running a public lobby, and I think it was dive officer. I don't really remember. And we had this chief engineer. He knew some stuff about the engines, or actually, I think he might have been a mechanic. Well, he was really uneasy about the battery, and um, basically we knew the situation was pretty safe and whatnot, so we wanted to really push the engines and make good use of it. He was being obstinate and wanted to refuse going at higher speeds, and he kept insisting, like, the battery's low, we gotta charge. And at one point we had to start crash diving, so we were going full speed because we were crash diving, and he's basically slow.
They're still having me on slow.
Okay. Then stick on slow.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
I corrected him. I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't I be going dead slow too? Because I looked over, I was like, hold on.
So we're basically then on our way to crash dive. We're full speed, and they're like dropping depth charges on our way down. And then the guy, he goes, we're ordering him to go full speed, and he's being real. I don't remember if he talked over intercom or over phone, and he basically said, "We're low battery, we need to charge." And we told him, "God, dude, you're not hearing the explosions. They're dropping depth charges at us. You want us to go on surface right now and ask the British to stop dropping depth charges?" Like, just, guys, time out. We need to charge. Let's hold off the attack and let's begin charging. Then you guys can begin again. It was kind of absurd and funny. So,
Yeah.
since then, me and Bob were joking around about that.
Of course we would.
At the most, like, what was funny about this guy, he was like reporting battery level constantly. Like, we had, I think the first report came in that we were at 9 kiloamp hour, and on the gauge up in the control room, they don't even have like more than 9. We can do 9.3 kiloamp hours, or 9,300. We can see that on our gauge, but they can't even do that. So he was reporting that we were at 9 kiloamp hour. From their perspective in the control room, that's full battery. Orders, slow speed. So it's just like funny that the guy is reporting that we have full battery in a way. And then we were doing some more maneuvers with full speed, and because Captain decided that we have the depth, so to our advantage, and it was shallow, but it was deep enough that we could completely be below the astic of the warships if we ran out of battery. So we're like, oh, let's just push the batteries until they get depleted. Oh, and this guy, he came back and he was like, "We're running out of battery. If we're running out of battery, it's your fault, Captain." I'm like, yeah, of course it is. Just, follow the orders. At first, he wasn't even following.
Of course.
So Captain had to go back there and tell him, "Dude, if we say full speed on DOT, you give us full speed on DOT. You don't give us dead slow just because you think the batteries are too low."
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game in the end. So what if we die? So what if the captain is completely 100% wrong? Like, we'll die in the end, and maybe there's a lesson there to be learned. Fortunately, it's a game and we get playing again.
Yeah, fortunately. So yeah, chat, you could see down here, you could actually see the screw into the propeller shaft actually spinning. That is actually detailed, coming from the pretty much all the electric generators from below. And of course we have the starboard screws that basically act as a giant brake for the propeller shaft to stop spinning completely.
Maybe it's time to call Bob again. Saying that's 8.8. Nah, he's probably getting ready for an attack, so I don't want to bother him.
Watch. He's probably... You do it anyway. He's gonna be like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, if it's gonna be a joke, then I want him to at least have fun and not be frustrated about it.
Oh, yeah.
My intent is not to troll, it's just to, you know, play a little practical joke, laughable by all parties.
Yeah. Which you can see the gears right there spinning for the propellers as well. This is actually kind of a cool detail. And it goes all the way through to the engine rooms and stuff like that. As you can see here and here. Right up to the gearbox. And then all you do is hit that and then engage those diesels. But I'm not tapping that because we're still underwater. Won't end well.
You have any, is there any, like, chat activity, questions usually going on in your stream, or have it...
No, there's nothing been going on in the chat. My chat dies every time.
Aw.
Chat, come alive, please. Start talking.
It is a tough game to, stream.
If you guys got questions, ask them now. If it's winning lottery numbers, I can't help you. What's cool is you can see, guys, here is where the attack periscope is aimed. Well, that one over there is the attack periscope. This is just kind of him looking around, trying to figure out where these guys are. Orders.
Orders. Half speed. Alright, probably past the warships. Oh, what's your RPM there, buddy? Down, down, down.
I know, I was letting it do its thing.
Yeah, but you can't do that. Might not be safe for 180 RPM. Probably safe, because we're probably in the middle of the convoy.
Yeah, I could kind of figured as much because if you watch the rear torpedo tube,
It's moving.
it's going ballistic because he's looking in every direction.
Yeah. Still, we gotta be careful with what we when we are staging up like that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Gotta dial the speed controller downwards when we're staging up, or like downwards as in towards the high position.
Yeah, I gotcha. That light there just tells people that there is a torpedo in the tube ready to launch. And over here is another torpedo. then they would use this crane right above my head to load the rear torpedo. Which is very entertaining because you can imagine trying to grab that with this being in the way. There's no real movement between that and that. So, you already have completed the mission, but we're just kind of shooting everybody else now and taking them out. No survivors type of thing. We might be launching here.
Please, 254 RPM. Attention.
254 on attention, aye?
Yep.
E-motor out. 254 on attention, did you copy?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Which that is just past grade speed.
Yeah.
So that is parallel series motor battery.
That's right.
So that will stay parallel. This one will go to series, and we're going to shift gear basically. Never go to series on both because that is the death zone. That will make you blow breakers out.
Attention.
Yeah, attention. Just a little bit under 8. But as you guys can see, on his thing, it has slower by RPM. And the dive order, mine does not. Mine has diesel engine, attention, and then I have 10 fast and then charge batteries at the same time. That means it's just 10 RPM faster. That's all they need. We're moving a little closer to 7,000. 70.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna be
Alright,
launching.
Start a compressor so we can get compressed air.
How?
Yeah, I was gonna see if you're gonna fall for it.
I was like, we don't have an electric compressor. That won't work. Hold on.
You can start it. Hey.
It'll take like 30 years of clicking that to make it work, but yeah.
If it doesn't work at all, I'm not even sure.
Let me try. It does.
What?
It does somehow.
It does work?
Somehow, yes.
But you notice the difference.
Yes, just barely. You just gotta keep spam clicking it.
It's funny if it does.
But they said they are gonna be launching about 10, well, 4 torpedoes, so there's the second.
Yeah, you wanna pump that. Don't you wanna pump it up? You got to pump it up.
We may crash dive. We don't know.
Orders! Half speed!
Half speed. I almost did the death of us.
You what?
I almost did the deadly combination of series.
Oh, the forbidden one.
On accident.
It's okay.
Oh, God. Seriously, why the hell are they doing this to us?
RPM. Not that slow. Not that slow. Slow speed. 110. Attention. Ah, he's ringing attention. I think he's correcting you. Slow speed. Oh, no, 110. Not 120. You're going up too far. There you go. There you go, laddie. Congratulations.
You just redlined my audio.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I've never heard that. I was like, God damn, my audio went red.
For the audience ears. Hey, do you see this? I don't know if it's the same for you, but on my screen, the telephone wire is wandering away.
No, the telephone wire's still dangling right there. But it is slowly getting bigger.
Yeah, alright, so there's a gap between the wire attachment point and the actual phone. For me, that wire had wandered away.
Yes,
About
that
here.
is frightening. It's not even attached, it's just there. How many torpedoes do we even have? They said 4, now we're shooting 5?
Orders!
Great speed.
Great. Good. 250. It's a funny bug. It existed for quite a while. Phone wire wandering.
I know, I'm seeing this now, and I'm just... No, now I'm seeing it go into the... It's inside of that.
Oh, okay.
That won't end well. I had to double check myself there for a moment.
Oh, that you were running right setting?
Yes. We are now almost at 5,000.
No, that's like almost half. That's a little bit more than half.
We're just going past 6,000, closing it on 5,500.
Applause, applause. Thank you.
I could do this.
Yes, yes, I appreciate it. Do the compressor now! Hurry!
He shot the rear.
Do it, dude. Pump it, pump it, pump it.
Yep, I am.
Good, good, good.
I don't think that was a merchant. That sounded a lot bigger than a merchant.
Maybe. I can't tell the difference at this range. I can't tell the difference at all.
Could have been a what's it called? Flower class.
I mean, Bob is known for giving them a hard time. He likes to hunt warships.
No,
Yeah,
there's
but
no warships on the recognized ships.
And there's no warships in the kill log.
So that means we haven't even started to hunt them down yet.
No, but he usually do it if he has spare torpedoes over and the evening haven't gone too well. He likes to bait the warships towards him.
Yes, I was on his ship yesterday,
Oh yeah.
and I became the person to fire the main cannon at the warships.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
I'm not doing that again, by the way.
What?
I'm-
Too stressful?
No, the fact that I had a round just nearly hit my head,
Yeah.
and I couldn't see them because of the waves.
Yeah. It's more to, bait them and then actually trying to hit anything. Order.
Half speed.
$160.
Because I know we still have one more rear torpedo.
Order. Slow speed. You think we have one more?
We should. We never fired the rear ones.
You could be right. I'll check the log here in a moment. Let's see. Tube 5 was launched once. We should have one more. Yeah, you're right.
And it's loaded now.
It is. Yeah, it is.
He's getting ready. Look at the thing spinning around. There it goes. No, that was not ours.
It could have been the front one.
Yeah, that was probably.
That was Tube 4. Yeah. Orders.
That far right one is just having a fun moment. That was very scary what I did. That was because I didn't acknowledge I was trying to adjust it so I don't short circuit the whole ship.
That's beneficial. You haven't popped the fuse yet today, so good job so far.
That's a plus on my part, I guess. So we should have at least one more torpedo, and that should be the rear, if I'm correct.
Okay. That was a front torpedo, it sounded like.
Yes, that one was.
Tube 1.
So how many more should we have?
Well, we start with 12 front, 2 rear. So I don't know if
That one hit a tanker.
Indeed, medium tanker 10.
most of this escorts was a tanker fleet. There was 3 actual merchants in this whole fleet. Maybe 4.
Merchants? Like freighters?
Just regular freighters, and then the rest were tankers.
We sunk a passenger liner as well early on.
So they had 1 passenger liner, maybe 2.
Yeah, well, yes. At least we nailed one.
Just below 4,000.
We should probably tell the captain that he needs to charge right now. We need to surface right now and charge.
Yeah, we might not want to right now.
There's a time and a place, and not right time.
That was the rare.
Yeah, yeah.
$3,500.
Orders. Full speed. We are diving.
Yes, yes, we are. Parallel series. We might be crash diving.
Yeah, probably a preemptive crash dive. Don't think we need full speed for it though, but maybe.
Dear God, come out of that. The whole ship just whooshed.
Okay, now it's the time. Captain, we must surface right now. We must charge the batteries. Surface right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna forcefully go to dead slow. You gotta call me by my full title. Yes. 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 I am standing by. Yes. Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes. You know your place on this boat very well. Alright. Supreme Lord Commander Foxalicious out.
What the fuck?
Charge batteries, yes, okay. Begin charging battery.
Okay, turn on the engines now.
We'll connect my engine to your engine and charge your engine with my engine.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but okay.
Neither do I. Orders, dead slow.
Orders dead slow.
Alrighty.
If we're gonna rig the ship for ultra quiet, should we get ready for those things?
We'll stop if we do those, though. I mean, we are quiet right now. Dead slow is probably completely undetectable. So we're fine.
Should I try the creep mode?
Yeah, you can try. It's a broken feature, but you can try it. The creep mode isn't really making the engine. If it were to work, it was never making the engine silent. What it did do was it made the starting resistor go in manual mode. So if you were going, let's say, ahead dead slow, and Captain wanted to go astern dead slow, then you could bypass using the starting resistor.
Or something. Come forward, monkeys.
Yes.
So yeah, you could bypass using the starting resistor, switch to go backwards, or vice versa, of course.
Guys,
Yo.
Yep.
so here's the thing. I was aiming at the medium tanker, which has a 6th throat. The torpedo depth set to 5. We missed that. And hit a beaten class sloop. Explain
Which has
that.
like
So we just missed one ship and it went into another?
Yeah,
actually
that-
the sloop has like a torpedo that at 3 or something, right?
So
How?
Yeah.
that's not the thing, because we hit 2 not intended targets this one attack. We missed one ship and hit behind something.
Could it have been an older torpedo sent at lower depth that hit soon after you fired the 5-meter depth one or the 6-meter depth one?
No. So now we are like almost behind the convoy now. The sloop is the aft escort, and that was from the last forward torpedo tube. Torpedo's depth set to 5. Sloop has a free draught. Explain.
I think that the medium tanker 29 was disguising itself and was ruining your attack. It's all the medium tanker 29's fault.
Also, if you see a 0247, I launched a torpedo tube 1 for a light merchant. I missed it and hit the medium tanker 10. So yeah. The medium tanker 29 is really a bad ship.
Wait, did you fire at the medium tanker 29?
No,
No. It was still in the convoy, disguised as all the other ships.
Disguised.
Yes.
Apparently.
Just through its aura of presence, it was skewing and torpedoes, of course.
Also, I missed 2 shots on a light merchant from 6 hectometer. Also disguised as medium tanker 29, I think.
Apparently.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. I will also say that was the medium tanker 29's fault.
I blame Vortex.
Probably. Yes,
Yeah,
I did some
okay.
bad calls.
Did you call to Domino's Pizza when you wanted Caesars?
No, I called like.
God damn it, now I crave
Romy.
pizza, thanks Fox.
Come on, Vortex.
I think
Tell
when
them,
you
what,
crossed
what
the
did you
RTC,
do?
I called okay, we should go like this heading, and then after all, I believe we were not in that spot at all, but we were off.
We were literally outside of the side effort. But no, it's not a bad position from Vortex. And we
Okay.
were already dived.
So I see how it is. It was Vortex's fault, but we're gonna blame the captain, but we'll punish Rear, and that way we split the burden.
Exactly.
I don't
Good.
know it.
All right, are we all in agreement?
Clark?
No.
Aye.
By majority vote. Okay, great. All right, Rear, get in the torpedo tube.
Oh.
Do we still have? Do we
Clark,
still
did
have
you send a
air?
message to 96 that we're RTC?
Well, you didn't tell me that before we dove.
Okay, then send him a
Do it
message
now.
on
Yes,
Discord
will
on
do.
Steam that we are RTC.
It's okay, Captain. We can do Morse code with the bilge pump.
Ah.
Of what?
Brum, brum.
Yeah, we
Morse code with
could,
the
because
bilge
the bilge pump could probably work. Somewhat.
Maybe you have to talk to Chinks.
Easiest
like
way
this,
is... Also, we found out the air compressor works underwater somehow.
What?
Yeah.
You just have to spam click it a bunch of times and it actually fills the air slowly.
So, Vortex, how many
Jeez.
beer did you drink on this mission?
6.
Wait, we had beer?
Yes.
When did we get beer?
I guess we had the beer. We had 6, and now we don't have any. Thanks, Vortex.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So apparently this is the last time Vortex on my boat, so everyone say goodbye or last words.
Alright. Okay. See you guys later. Yes.
Yes.
No. No.
Correct.
No. No.
Captain, you bitch.
What?
Don't send
Fox?
him away now.
Hi.
Alright, folks. Alright, I see how.
I'm gonna hide over here now, and I'm just gonna...
So, Fox, did you charge the batteries?
Yeah, sure, we did.
Okay, you still have the chief engineer role then.
Yes. We totally didn't we totally charge the batteries? Where's my engine?
I was standing in front of you again. I'm right here.
Oh, right.
Did you guys connect each other e-motor engine together?
Yes.
Yes.
We totally connected my e-motor to charge his e-motor. Totally did that. Not lying.
Did we do that,
So
chat?
So
Did
the
we do
port
that,
side
chat?
has no battery at all?
Both have batteries.
Barely any, but it works.
Yes.
Oh, I need a picture, by the way. That's gonna be a funny debrief, by the way. Like, how should we
Hell
explain
yeah.
that bit in class?
I'm.
I mean, you normally shoot warships, so you can just
Yeah, but-
write it off as a
Not
Bob
set,
thing.
not set to 5 depth.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't set to 5.
Vortex, you were on TDC.
Yes. Maybe it was 2 or 3.
I told you, always blame Vortex.
We'll blame Vortex. It's your fault, Captain. Let's
Alright,
punish Rhea.
okay.
Husband, where are you?
I'm fine with that.
Was this your first mission?
Just blame me.
Yes, it was.
And are you a beginner in Wolfpack? In general?
I haven't played it in a while. I used to play it a while back, but it's been a while since I've played.
Okay. Well, you were a nice husband.
I thank you.
I did recommend him for the role.
You did?
Yes.
Ooh. It will only leave one question now. Why is Rhea still here, not in the tube?
Go in the rear torpedo
we're at-
tube, rear.
We're out of
My head-
Vaseline.
My head got
Yeah.
too big.
Thank Vortex for that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Feet were like dangling it.
I needed that Vaseline for myself, you know.
Yeah, tell me about it. I
No,
sleep underneath
no, I
you
won't.
in the bunk beds.
I'm going this
Whatever
way now.
you do.
Does Vaseline contains alcohol?
Not anymore. I mean, Vortex.
Thank you, Vortex.
No props.
Yeah, well, I mean, otherwise, that seemed to be a pretty.
Is he gonna
pretty
flood
chill
this ship?
mission.
It was very fun.
There's a possibility that he would do that.
Did the entrance
but-
flood, by the way?
Where are we, by the way?
Who the hell knows? We're underwater. That's all we know.
Has the navigator not been doing their job?
No. No, wait. Maybe I can draw a smiley face.
Hard right rudder.
Hard right, let's turn around. New course. 300. And rear, take us to periscope depth.
Hard right 300.
And slow speed ahead.
I
I draw a smiley face. Maybe that helps.
Slow speed.
Yep. Increase engine speed by 10.
Aha. 120.
Attention, 20. Another 10.
Another 10, so 130.
Yep. as the whole entire ship just turns into a rocket. Love that horrifying sound.
Creaks and cracks and pops and bangs.
Now we're closing in on 2,000. Shall I inform the control room?
Well, we're on our way up now, so technically. Oh, wait, actually, no, don't inform him because we charged our batteries, right? That's what we did. We got to keep our story straight, right?
Do you want us to die down here?
We could right now be detected and crash dive and go down to 185 again and still be fine. No problems. It'll be a little bit annoying that we don't have a hydrophone to tell if we're safely far away, but yeah, we probably will be fine.
20,000.
Yes. It's okay. Bob knows what he's doing.
You say this and... yeah.
It's fine. What could go wrong? What really can go wrong?
We lose power completely underneath the water and no lights whatsoever.
Yeah, ballast tanks with compressed air. We'll be fine.
We have
They're mechanical. They're not electrical.
nearly, well, just a little bit under 150.
Yeah, we just put you on the compressor and you just get to pump it.
Sorry about that, chat. I have to do this.
Righty. So are we getting anywhere with the compressed air?
I have made it one more notch.
Okay.
Like, one very small notch.
Yeah, you keep it up there. This is riveting gameplay.
I give up.
Rookie. Have speed.
Have speed, aye.
RPM.
Set. I am going to be writing a heavily worded email to my payroll people.
Oh, how so?
They haven't paid me.
Yes.
So they expect me to get there on gas fumes?
Yeah, well, you got legs, right?
My workplace is in the middle of downtown Phoenix, about 45 miles away.
You know, all I'm hearing is complaint.
I'm
It's a lot
not
of
walking
complaining
about
and
that
a lot
far.
of leg usage. I get you. That sucks. Is it the big company?
Yes, it's about 150 people plus upstairs, which is about another 30 people, so...
It's probably just an oversight, miss. So.
No, they keep doing this. This is the second time.
Oh.
Next time I'm going to be actually saying, what the hell is going on? Why are you guys not paying me? And if they don't want to pay me, I'm not going to work. Just because, one, they're not paying me, so why should I work?
Are you in the union?
Yes, I am.
Have you checked in with them first? They might have a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Weight.
They owe me 700 fucking bucks. That's why I'm really upset.
The union or your company?
My company.
Oh, that's a sizable amount. It might be. No. Well, I would imagine that the union could be a good way to go through if you're in the union. Orders! Diesel. I'm starting the crusher. Your exhaust is still.
Should I recommend full speed?
You could, yeah. Might as well. Yeah, let's do that. Make it full. Good thinking.
Half speed.
Speed.
Charge batteries.
Alrighty. Charge batteries and half speed. Hard. You're not doing beat on charge rate. That looks well. And see if we can dial it to 340 RPM without shooting a rate under. And then watch for current build up. So if the engines are too strong, you have to dial back the diesels.
There we go.
Yeah, that's much better. 340 on the shaft and battery current. That we do with the recipe. Just monitor your currents with the stimulants. It creeps up to 800 meters of fuse. Alright.
Alright.
Let's meet up in Discord.
Yep.